Sawadika and hi everyone, I'm Nilek. Today my friend is going to share with you guys their scholarship interview experience and give you some tips. If you want to be smart and cute like my friend, make sure you watch until the end of the video. Enjoy watching! Wait a second.
Hi, my name is Sonia. Currently, I'm a JPA scholar at College Lilisan UEM doing my A-levels, and I'm planning to pursue biological sciences later in the future in the UK. Today, I'll be sharing with you roughly how my JPA interview went and how you can ace yours. Before we begin, let me show you how the interview will go. So the JPA interview is actually called the Student Assessment Center, SAC. The interview will be approximately 20 minutes. There will be 5 to 6 applicants and 2 to 3 interviewers in one session. You will start by introducing yourself one by one, and then you will be asked questions either following the same sequence or randomly. Okay, let's jump right in. I shall divide this video into 2 parts. The first one would be typical questions that would be asked, and the second one would be tips to get you ahead of other interviewees. So let's go. First question, why did you choose this course? I am pretty sure that this question would have a 95% chance of being asked. You have to sound like you are very into your course, you know what you want. So for me, my course was biological sciences, and in the interview, I sounded like I really wanted to study this course and I was very passionate about it. To answer this question, you cannot be hesitant. You have to be firm that this is the course I want and I don't want anything else. In my session, there were 5 people and I think more than 3 applied for computer science. So the interviewer asked why so many people choose computer science. And then there was this one guy who applied for engineering. The interviewer asked this guy, why did you choose engineering? Why not computer science? And then he said that computer science involves a lot of maths and I don't like maths, which is a big question mark because you applied for engineering but you don't like maths, and you know that engineering is maths. It involves a lot of maths. So the interviewer asked him back, you're applying for engineering but you don't like maths, and then this guy knew he was doomed. Okay, so don't be like this guy, please. You applied for this course means you like this course very much, so you have to say that I really like the things that I will study in this course. For example, me, I really like biology, so I said ever since I took biology in Form 4, I really like this subject. I really like learning about the processes of the human body and how fascinating it is to just learn about the study of life. And what you have to do is to impress the interviewer, not by saying too much about the technical stuff like photosynthesis. Okay, no, don't do that because they don't really understand it. It's kind of boring. Most important thing is just to sound like I really want to study this course and I really like this course. Basically, summary, be passionate, be firm about what you want, don't be hesitant. Moving on to question 2. Why should we choose you? This question is crucial. You have to answer this question very well. And how do you do that? So the key to answering this question is that you have to state that you want to make an impact to this country, and that impact has to be big. It has to sound impressive and it has to impress the interviewer. So for me, my course was biological sciences, and I said that I was into research. So what I did to answer this question was that I told them that I wanted to contribute to Malaysia by helping Malaysia develop its own vaccine for COVID, so that we don't have to depend on Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and we can even export the vaccine that we make out to other countries. So that sounded kind of big. Of course, I cannot do that alone. So what I did was I dragged in the name of an association. The association that I used to answer this question was the Malaysian Association of Research Scientists, MARS. Now that is a tip that I suggest you Google associations or organizations that are in your field. You find one and you use one in your answer, because you cannot make a good impact alone. You need someone else, a group of people to help you. So I told them that I wanted to join this association so that I can make a breakthrough in my field. After the second question was asked, the why should I choose you question, I was given a situation. The exact question was, what if you got a job offer overseas? Would you stay there or would you come back? To answer this question, of course, you have to say that you will come back. I mean, it's logic that you have to come back and serve your country. So you have to answer this without hesitation. Tell them like 0.001 second later after they ask that, you have to say, I will come back to Malaysia definitely, because this gives them the reassurance that you won't run away after they give you the scholarship, and you are worth giving the scholarship to. Again, this is a repeat of the question that they asked before that. How do you make an impact? I remember telling them that I want to learn from the best of the best people overseas and bring back the knowledge that I have learned and gained there to help my own country. So I am definitely coming back. That sounds impactful, and it just shows that you are patriotic and you will come back to your country, your motherland. And I remember saying, like, because this is the land that I was raised in, just using the stuff that you learn in moral, use your cinta akan negara things that you learn in the interview now in this question. Also, I suggest that instead of using the word country, it's better if you use some bombastic words like motherland, I don't know. Moving on to the second part of the video, tips that might just land you your JPA scholarship. Tip number 1, body language is important. Something as simple as just sitting up straight during the entire interview, because this just shows that you are confident with answering whatever questions that they are going to bombard you with. Just a tiny smile when you're talking or when you're waiting for others to answer. It is important to set a good impression of yourself for the interviewer. When you smile, you show that you're not tense and that you might actually look like you're enjoying the interview, which is something that I would say adds points. Try your best not to stutter. Don't do that. So summary for body language, 3 things. Sit up straight during the entire interview. Show the nice, beautiful smile of yours to the interviewer. Try to stutter as little as possible. Tip number 2, be confident. Feel like you're in a debate or like you're public speaking. You want to sound loud and clear when you answer their questions. What I think is that when I speak louder, I feel like it helps to reduce my nervousness. As soon as you start introducing yourself, you have to be loud and clear and show that I'm confident. Like, hey, I'm going to be one of the best applicants that you will interview today. Which leads me to my next point. Tip number 3, the most important of all, stand out. You want to make the interviewers have all eyes on you and not the other interviewees. It is good to keep continuously answering their questions. Just keep talking. I think that for me, this tip was the thing that helped me to land my JPA scholarship, because in my session, the other interviewees were rather quiet and they didn't really talk much. Even though I'm an introvert, in this interview I talked a lot. Like, I really stepped out of my comfort zone. I elaborated a lot on each question that they asked. That's why in my session, I can only recall being asked 2 main questions. It is better to have them ask you to elaborate more on one question than to ask you many different questions. So that is your goal inside the interview. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're talking too much. Interviews are meant to be like that. JPA interviews are not excluded. So do try to steal the limelight. Honestly, I feel bad because in my session, I knew that I talked a little too much until they didn't focus much on the rest of the interviewees, but that's a good thing. That is what you want to try to achieve, and when that happens, it means that you have successfully kept their eyes on you the whole time, which definitely gives you a higher chance of securing the scholarship. So that is all that I have to share about this JPA scholarship interview process, and I know that some of the tips may sound sort of general, but honestly, it's because the JPA interview is just like any other interview. So the things that I've mentioned in this video are the things that helped me secure my scholarship. So I hope that it helps you, and I hope that you too will secure your JPA scholarship. Bye bye!